So
Mhm. Cool. So
they'll
the
come and
question
bring
again is,
people.
this is the start of personal development, week 2, right?
Hmm.
And the key thing is that you grow through what you go through, or the goal should be to grow through what you're going through. No matter who you are, everybody has been in their life where they either was going into a storm, they're currently in a storm, or they're coming out of one. And the beautiful thing is, I've always been taught that there's always sunshine on the other side of every storm. And when you look at everybody's top priorities in their life, it
Pause. I just
typically
had
breaks
somebody to
down
say it.
to the same thing everywhere.
Before
Go
you
ahead.
said it, they put it right before you got ready to say it. Dave Houston out of Clarksville, Mississippi. Shout out to Clarksville, y'all know it's my hometown.
Shout out to Clarksdale. Some
Um,
famous people out of that small place.
God, family, and his business.
He said God,
Hmm.
family,
Hmm.
and his
Hmm.
business. Okay. I've never met Tim, right? But so salute. You said Dave?
Yeah, you have met him.
Well, I'm about to say, you know how I be. All right, cool. So I met this gentleman, but I can see that God, family, and then business, right? Top priorities. Does anybody else on the Zoom, on Facebook, Instagram, wherever we at, live YouTube channel right now? Does
YouTube.
any in the school? Y'all like write us in the school? Anybody priorities in their life still kind of favor around God, their family, and their business, right? Let's go ahead and dive in. Step four, steps to become your own CEO. And week 2 is all about identifying your top 9 wigs. Put this in your notes. What are my 9 wigs? Everything I do is personal development. I had some amazing mentors through my life when it comes to percussion, when it comes to music band, college, journalism, so just spiritual things, just so many different people. And shout out to all the men because I've had a lot of male mentorship in my life over time. And identifying my 9 wigs is one of the things that allowed me to keep my head focused on the task,
You
right?
said you have 9 wigs?
No, I just got
Oh,
one. It's time for a haircut, and I'm glad we're gonna talk about this in one of these one of these wigs. But wig stands for widely important goals.
okay.
God, family, business. Everybody I've asked, I've started business. You guys see on my logo, this says 2016 on my logo, but I started this personal development journey at least since 2010, 2012. And along the journey, I've asked people that same question, and everybody typically has the exact same answer. Ms. Burton, is it safe to say that's your answer as well?
Absolutely.
Spirit, some people would say instead of God, right? Their friends and family environment, right? Business, how they make money. Today, we just want to share with you guys some personal development activities because when it comes to executing strategies, there's 2 ways to execute a strategy. And it's 2 things that have to happen when we get to the, where am I in my screen? The E, executing
Hmm.
the strategies. First, you got to know number one, what do you have to hold yourself accountable to? In your walk as a man, as a woman, what are some of the things before you become this business owner person? I've been doing this for 10 years, 10, 14 years now. It's the same growth for everybody, right?
What's one of the things that's important in business is really your character
Mhm.
and how you move. You know your ethical side of it. Um, Before, if you're individually, if you're shady or you don't carry yourself as a upholding person. I don't think I'm not saying I don't think I know for a fact there are going to be some business transactions, some business people, some business networking that are not going to want to do business with you, even though your
Right.
cupcake may be the best in the world. Even
Mhm.
though you're, I don't know, you may be a chiropractor, you may have the best service, but if you move shady and you act kind of a certain way, people are not really going to do business with you. So I really do think, honestly, your personal life, your personal, how you carry yourself is very important.
Right? And a lot of people don't even notice, like a conversation like this, we could easily go to the reckoning when we talking about the personal development of how people move. Let's say 50 Cent. People know how 50 Cent move with people. People know how now, people know how Diddy moves. And if you guys are just looking at CEOs on that level, and we break down this conversation of what are your three most important things in your life? Do y'all think that 50 Cent's one of his top priorities is his spirit, his God? Do y'all think that his friendships and his family environment is something that he likes to protect or grow? What about his businesses? Did he the same way, right? And it doesn't matter who it is that it shows up. What you do in the dark shows up, right? So simply being said is wigs mean widely important goals. So with that being said, let's dive in and help some entrepreneurs, some creative people execute some strategies to help them show up first for themselves. But let me make sure I back up and give you guys the second part of execution. The second part, after you figure out what you have to hold yourself accountable to in business, the second part of executing a strategy is the follow up. And the follow up must come from three different sources. This is why, too, most executive teams and companies are an odd number: three people, five people, seven people. Because when we're voting on what the finances where we're gonna put this money next, it can't be even. It has to be an odd man out or majority rules. Same thing for the marketing side, right? So when we're looking at nine wigs, the second side of executing strategy is the follow up from your accountability partner. Put that in your notes, put it in the chat. Your team. There's no way you can build a business without a team. You need a team that can help you with the services. You need a team that's going to help you with the products. You need a creative team. However, we also need an executive team too. Is this making sense? So in the growth and development of personal development of that is executing accountability yourself, but then the follow up from your accountability partner, team, and system of duplication that we talked about in week one. So here we are. Top look, here it is on the next slide. Top priorities. Is it safe to say most people is like, and the question here is if it doesn't have to do with your spiritual growth, your family's growth, or your business's growth, does it matter to you?
Not
Think
really.
about this for yourself. Not really, not at all.
It
If
shouldn't
it
even
doesn't
bother
grow
you.
my if it doesn't grow my spirituality, my spirit, how it makes me feel, my nervous system, right? If my nervous system isn't in shape, we can't move on to the next level of being the friendship level, right? If you can't develop the family and friend level, you can't move on to the business. And in reverse, if you are a business owner having challenges with your business, you have to go down to tier two and say, what's going on in the friends and family environment that I'm having challenges with creative thought process in my business. If you're having challenges in the family and friends environment, the reason why the friends and family conversations may not be aligned is because the spiritual foundation isn't aligned as well. All right. So everything rises and falls on leadership. So we want to make sure that now we give you guys three priorities or widely important goals that help people grow through their process. Ms. Burton, you one of the best I've seen work uh, on herself. Everybody has up, everybody has downs. One of my mentors said, never ride your highs too high, yet never ride your lows too low. Just do the work. Somebody in the comment section right there. Do the work.
Do the work.
Do work to help you become a better business owner. What are those things, Burton?
Absolutely. So when it comes down to our spirit, and like you said, we're not going to narrow this down to a being because we know when it comes down to your spirit, whoever your spirit person is, if it's God, if it's Buddha, if it's whoever, that is the person of your higher calling. Mm-hmm. So when it comes down to my personal, I believe in God. I'm a Christian. So I need to go, Mr. Ponder, and listen to an audio Audio could be a podcast. Instead of me turning to my favorite radio station nowadays, I need to turn to a podcast so I can hear
Mhm.
someone maybe having a sermon. I can hear somebody maybe reading a Bible verse. I can hear somebody breaking down something in the Bible that maybe can uplift me if I have challenges right now.
Mhm.
Reading. How many of you guys actually go back and do some old fashioned reading, meaning that in a book? I mean, I know people have Kindles and iPads and things like that. No, we're talking not an old fashioned book. So that part of your spirit. Next, an ink pen, writing out those thoughts. The person of the therapist, he or she gonna say, when was the last time you wrote these thoughts out? When was the last time that you write whatever this is in your head that's bothering you? Last but not least is prayer and meditation. Prayer is you praying, you're talking, you're verbally saying things. Meditation is you're saying nothing and you're listening. Mr. Potter, is it safe to say if you did all of these things in your life, any troubles or troubling anything that's troubling, if you did this enough, you cannot tell me you're not, if you did any of these things enough, it would make your life better.
Oh, it definitely would. And I want to hit on something too is definitely with the Bible, shout out, right? One of the greatest books to ever be written. However, we're not saying from a spiritual growth side too is sometimes in your business, reading and just listening to audio allows you to speak better, makes you interpret how other people say things better when it comes to conversations in the next step, which is friendships, right? A lot of times if a person doesn't understand what you say, sometimes they're afraid to ask the question of, hey, will you repeat that for me? Because they didn't understand it. So when we say reading, it's just something that also too helps you understand and process words easier. Might even help with your eye and vision work, right? And about seeing what you understand. As a neuromuscular therapist, shout out to Atlanta School of Massage, graduated in 2019, right before COVID. That's why we got a mobile massage business. We weren't going to brick and mortar, and people couldn't even come outside, right? But as a neuromuscular therapist, that means we work on nerve and muscle tendons. A lot of the times, people are intense or tight in things because a lot of the stuff they never get a chance to audibly speak with anybody, right? We've all heard people say, "Go to brain fart just then, mental health person, right? Therapist, excuse me, right? Go speak with the therapist because sometimes you need to be able to speak. Sometimes anybody ever voice felt like their voice wasn't being heard?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a listening ear. This is why teams are so important because if you have an amazing idea about your business, that could be the thing that determines if more millionaires go to the grave with those thoughts versus bringing it to the world and saving the world and getting tax breaks for being a business owner. Might I add in prayer and meditation, prayer is speaking out loud. Meditation is listening. Shout out to all the people who practice and teach yoga, right? I think that's an amazing thing for all entrepreneurs, employees, students, military people, because it gives you the balance of everything internal and out. Family,
Mhm.
one of my favorite subjects. Family and friendship environment. The three widely important goals that we've seen in studies that helps people. How many of you guys have ever been on a lunch break and bought something bad for food?
When you
Or
say
didn't make
bad,
the
what do you
best,
mean? What do you mean?
well, bad for your system.
Okay.
Let's say for instance, we know if we go buy Skittles, that's gonna mess up our teeth. Bad, right?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? We gonna eat the whole bag, right?
Mhm.
It's safe to say if we fail to plan out what are we going to do when it comes to nutrients this week, if we fail to plan out what does our exercise look like this week, is it safe to say if we don't plan these things, sometimes
Mhm.
we just don't do it.
Yeah.
And this is for entrepreneurs, this is for employees, military people, business owners who are working to make sure that their business shows up the best way, right? Because the best representation of your business is you. Thirdly, being cleanliness, meaning cleanliness of your environment. Some of you guys may see is I'm still on my no shave November, but it's time for me to go to get a shape up before Christmas and the New Year's, right? But these are some of the things that we've learned over the times is if you put this to calendar, put this to thought, put some active effort behind this, you'll see a lot of great results in your personal life. Anything on those you see?
When I just want to break them down just to touch on them just a little bit. So when it comes down to family and friends, when you come down to your nutrients, are you eating things that are healthy for you? Are you drinking your water daily? Are you exercising? We're not saying go out and do an Ironman challenge tomorrow. No. Are you
Mm-hmm.
walking? Are you doing some type of muscular strength to stay toned? Last but not least, like that cleanliness. The cleanliness is I don't want to get in your car and now you got McDonald boxes from 2 years ago. You know, the
Right.
Thanksgiving turkey is still sitting in the chair. No, cleanliness. So the things of being organized and being clean, absolutely check them off.
You said yesterday, no, today's Thursday, Tuesday on the Financial Talk Tuesday conversation that Uber, Lyft, DoorDash were some of the top ways to actually make money on a part-time basis outside of your job.
Hmm.
Have some of you guys ever got into a Lyft or Uber ride and it was disgusting, or
Hmm.
right? So the cleanliness of however you move is very important. The exercise and getting your endorphins moving, getting that blood circulating through your body, just some things to actually put on your to-do list when it comes to executing some strategies as an entrepreneur. One of the things we talk about in week 3 when we talk about marketing and stuff like that,
Okay.
people love people who are growing. And for some of you guys who just it gets to the point sometimes where people just spam, right? Their business, their service. I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. But then people lose a whole sight of who you are. That you're a human being, right? And a lot of times is that when you guys understand what prospects are new customers, prospects are new partners for your business, that you'll get new partners, new customers from your business from some of these basic things that you do on a day-to-day basis. How many of you guys know people who like to read and listen to audio? How many of you guys know people who like praying and meditating or writing? How many of you guys know people who exercise? See, the worst thing about business is people, but the best thing about business is the people. So why wouldn't we want to surround ourselves around people who are talking highly about getting a blender for Christmas? Yeah, it's on my Christmas list. I got a new juicer on the way. Good, clean, healthy, glowing skin. Here I come. Right? But these are the first 6 weeks of personal development when it comes to anybody all across the country. And here's a bonus for you guys. When we talk about executing strategies and holding yourself, being the CEO, being accountable of some things first, you guys got to understand these 3 things for your business. Out of sight, out of mind is the most realest thing I've ever heard in business. Because if your business never has any promotion, no billboard, no nothing, nobody knows about it. And definitely if it's not consistent, persistent, we'll get into that in week 4. But out of sight, out of mind is a huge thing. So as a priority for you guys personally developing through your business, some of you guys who are working full time and ready to start working part time on your business, don't forget weekly. Your business needs a brand new billboard or a refreshing of that billboard. Number 2, the people who interact with that, you need to build a brand new list of 20 people minimum. Because
One out of
one out
10
of
will say
10
yes.
1 out of 10 of 20 people will say yes. How many of you guys have an amazing service that may be worth 250 or above, $1,000 and above? You put out a brand new billboard about it, 20 some odd people look at it. We're here to sort, y'all. Being I know the best thing about my business is the worst people and the best people. I'm here to search out right talent. That means sort. Again, search out right talent. This is why you need a brand new list of 20 people so you can see what they like, see what they don't like. So when we talk about business income, like, hey, what did you project to earn last week? And what you actually earned last week. So the number that you look at when it says what did you actually earn last week probably came through a good sort. All right. But most importantly, you want to invite them to something, an event, a business development workshop like this, that's free. A financial talk Tuesday on Tuesday with Miss Burton, that's free. So you can start integrating and finding alignment, synergy, and collaboration with different people all across the world with your services and products. At this point, we want to go ahead and get ready to close out. We do this because they told us that service to many other people leads us to greatness. And we truly do this because we want to be great. And overall is that we want to actually offer you guys free information, free service, free discovery conversation with one of the baddest accounting and record tax resolution. I got so many thoughts going in my head. The best, right?
Yep.
Tax resolution specialist in the Atlanta and Georgia area, that's willing to help you guys.
In the
So
world.
you guys can in the world, Craig, right? Is that she's
Absolutely.
offering one-on-one free strategy sessions with your FAP or MAP. FAP means financial accountability partner. If you don't have one, reach out. We got some people for you. We actually offer a full team of financial experts and a full team of marketers and tools to help people fund and promote their business. But you can learn about more of that in a free session with us. You'll also get our PDF or the 4 steps to becoming your own CEO with video, access to our private Facebook group, and now what we're going to update is our new private school community. Shout out to the Creative Execution Officers group. We're about at 700 people, but that school community is growing quite nicely as well. So we want to encourage you guys to come network, come share your content. See, let us know how we can learn from you and your growth about how you're going through all of these different steps of spiritual growth, family growth, and even in your business. So again, we'll be here next Thursday. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Be here next Thursday. Can you tell them a little bit more about our inner circle?
Absolutely. Our inner circle comprises of a full team of financial and marketing experts. We have monthly one-on-one strategy sessions. We offer free sponsorship promotion for all of our events. Last but not least, we have weekly private group training. And this is the part where you're not in business by yourself. You're in the inner circle to meet and talk with like-minded people, to bounce out ideas off, to find out what has worked for them, what has not worked for them. And you come with a full plan where now, you have growth. You've been doing it, however you've been doing it, we're offering you help with this full team of financial experts and marketing experts. What's
And
stopping
I
you?
love seeing this helps refresh our memories about our sponsorship. Once again, give a huge shout out to one of our newest partners, Shy Prep Academy, Sports Academy up in Chicago, Illinois, led by Marcus Spencer. Definitely a huge shout out. We're probably on business development work next week. We'll start promoting some of their links. And if you guys join our inner circle, your profiles and where to connect with you here live on this business development workshop. So once again, man, we appreciate everybody who took your most valuable asset, which is your time, and spent it with us. Only an hour a week, right? What's that? 2 hours, 1 hour a week on business development, 1 hour a week on financial development with your boy, Bernard Ponder and Miss Sandra Burton. Where can they find you at?
I am on Instagram at CPF Services. I'm on Facebook at Certified Platinum Financial Services.
Nice. And I'm BP, the CEO map, and becoming a CEO amongst most places all over social media. Huge shout out to Nakia for Fabra Smith Johnson in the comments here. Dave Houston, man, we appreciate you tapping in from Clarksdale. Everybody in the chat, man, we thank you guys. Ms. Burton, once again, another great job with another business development for week 2. Y'all come back and check us out with business development. This was personal development. But next week, we're going to be diving in a little bit more with some of those tools that we're using. And check us out in the school. And we'll see you guys on the next Zoom. Y'all have a great one.
Talk to you later.